Hello everybody, I am Professor Adimurthy, Faculty, Department of Automobile Engineering, DLD Associations, Vachana Pitamaha, Dr. P.G. Halakatti College of Engineering and Technology, Vijayapura, Karnataka. Welcome to my third session on the suspension systems. So in the last two sessions we have discussed the basics of suspension system, types of suspension system, and now in this we are going to discuss the remaining important points on the suspension systems. Now first let us have a quick look about the types of suspension springs used in the automobiles. So the various types of springs used in the suspension systems can be classified as like this. So it can be steel springs, rubber springs, plastic springs, air springs, and hydraulic springs. So in the group of steel springs, again there are four types of springs are there. One is the leaf springs, second one is tapered leaf spring, third one is coil spring, and fourth one is the torsion bar spring. And in second one, the rubber springs, again there are six different forms of springs are there. Number one, A is the compression spring, B is compression shear spring, C is steel reinforced springs, D progressive springs, E face shear springs, and F torsional shear springs. And here depending upon the load that is coming on the spring, the various type of rubber spring can be selected between the compression, torsion, shear, and the combination of the compression and shear springs also. And the third kind of spring is the plastic spring, fourth one is the air spring, and fifth one is the hydraulic springs. So these are the most commonly used. So these are the most commonly used springs in the automotive systems. And out of these various types of springs, the steel springs are again most widely and preferably used in the automobiles. Particularly, the leaf springs are highly used in various types of automobiles, including cars as well as the heavy duty vehicles. So particularly wherever rigid axle suspension system is being used, definitely the leaf springs are preferable. As I told, leaf springs are widely used type of the springs that are used in the automobiles. Now let us just have a look about the various types of steels that will be used for the production of these leaf springs. So here the materials used can be chrome vanadium steel, silicon manganese steel, and the carbon steel. So here we can see the various constituents of the different types of steels. The first one, chrome vanadium steel, the various constituents and the percentage. For example, here carbon is 0.46%, manganese is 0.57%, silicon is 0.17%, nickel is 0.15%, chromium is 1.4%, and vanadium is 0.18%. So depending upon the strength and rigidity requirements for the type of the springs, the combination and the percentage of the constituents will be varying. Similarly, in the second one, the silico-manganese steel, the constituents are only carbon, manganese, silicon, and chromium, whereas vanadium is also there in the chrome vanadium steel. So here, if you observe the percentage, the carbon percentage is 0.52, slightly higher than chrome vanadium. Manganese is 1.05, again it is high in percentage. Silicon is 1.95 and chromium is 0.05. So chromium is low in comparison with the chrome vanadium steel in silicon manganese steel. And the third kind of steel is a carbon steel, and the combination of constituents will be carbon, manganese, and silicon in the percentage 0.55% of carbon, 0.6% of manganese, and 0.2% of the carbon, the silicon in the carbon steel. So these are the combinations of the steel and the materials that can be used for the manufacturing of the leaf springs. Now we are going to discuss about the widely used type of leaf spring suspension, that is the semi-elliptical leaf spring. Now let us discuss about the widely used type of leaf spring, that is the semi-elliptical leaf spring. Wherever the rigid axle suspension is used, particularly for the rear axle in almost all vehicles, particularly in heavy duty vehicles, the rigid axle suspension is generally adopted, and invariably the semi-elliptical leaf spring is used in such situations wherever we are using a rigid axle suspension system. In this particular sketch, we can observe an arrangement of the multiple leaf semi-elliptical leaf spring system. So here the rear axle leaf spring is shown. The spring consists of large number of leaves called as, these number of leaves are called as blades. The different blades vary in length as shown in this figure. So you can see the first one is relatively larger than the second one, and second one is larger than the third one. Likewise, as the number of blades increases from top blade to bottom blade, the length of the blades is decreasing, and the design of these depends upon the beam theory or theory of beams, where for uniform distribution of load should be there on the entire set of the springs. You can see the entire set of these springs is mounted on the rear axle. This is the rear axle, you can see, and the rear axle is communicating with the set of semi-elliptical leaves with the help of the U-bolt. So the U-bolt is used to fix these leaves with the rear axle, and the entire leaf or this semi-elliptical leaf set is communicating with the frame side member, chassis frame side member, with the help of two supports here, one at the front and another at the rear. And the leaf which communicates with the chassis frame member is called as a master leaf. You can see this one is the master leaf, and this is the relatively the large leaf, and with turned round structures, and this is called as the spring eye. So on both sides the eyes are provided with this master leaf, and with the help of these eyes only the spring can be mounted on this or connected to this frame side member. So one side it is used with a pin and a rubber bush to fix on this support, whereas another side this is a fixed support on the frame side member, whereas on the other end it is a swinging type support provided, and this is called as a shackle, the front shackle and the rear shackle. So the rear shackle is provided with a pivoted on a pin, and it can swing whenever there is a road disturbance and the wheel moves up or down. That to accommodate the change in the length of this master leaf, here one end is provided with a pivot and it swings about the spin, and the change in the length can be accommodated with the help of this one. Otherwise, there is a very chance that the breaking of this leaf or the master leaf may happen whenever the wheel passes over the road irregularities. And as we know, more number of blades are there in each set. So a clip is used or strap is used to keep different number of blades together. They are also called as the rebound clips. You can see these are the clips connecting the different set of blades, and it is called as the rebound clip, which helps the blades to be in contact with each other whenever the rebouncing of the spring happens. And all these blades are put together with the help of the center bolt here, and this is the turnaround portion. This is called as the eye, what we are using connected for connection here. And it's more details we can observe here, and these are the trimmed ends of the blades, and we can call them as the graduated blades, and the length of these blades are properly designed based on the theory of beams. And the only one blade will be generally the full length leaf, and in some cases the second leaf is also a full length leaf. And if you observe in this sketch, the horizontal line drawn connecting the centers of the two springs, and when you consider the gap available between the curvature on this master leaf and this distance between the center line is called as the camber for this particular kind of arrangement for the multi-leaf semi-elliptical leaf spring. So this is most widely or most commonly used type of elliptical leaf spring with the automobiles, particularly in case of heavy duty vehicles. And here the photograph of the actual leaves, the leaf spring is shown here. So this is the eye of the leaf spring, this is the master leaf, this is the full length leaf, next full length leaf, and next these are all the graduated leaves. You can see the length of these leaves are gradually decreasing from the master leaf to the last leaf. And you can see some here the orange colored arrangement that is shown. So it is nothing but a pad which is provided between one leaf to another leaf, and whenever because of the road irregularities, when the rear axle moves up or down with the wheel, so there may be chances of squeaking noise due to the rubbing of one leaf against the another leaf. So to avoid that and for easy recovery of their positions and avoiding any noise that will be developed during their movement because of rebouncing, so these pads are provided here. And also zinc coating, a layer of zinc coating will be provided on the surface of these leaves to avoid the squeaking and for smooth relative motion between the spring blades whenever the road irregularities are there and wheel moves up and down and the rear axle also moves vertically up or down. So this is about the arrangement of various leaves in a multiple leaf semi-elliptical spring system. So the points whatever we discussed with reference to that diagram are listed here again. They are made of flat semi-elliptical blades and consists of various number of blades, generally vary in length. Leaf spring is connected to the axle by means of U-bolt. Leaves are generally given initial curvature so that they tend to straighten under load. So the camber that we have discussed in the earlier sketch will vary depending upon the road irregularities. The composite springs are generally designed on the theory of beams, as I already told. So one end of the leaf springs is mounted on the frame with simple pin, that is fixed one, and the another one is with a shackle, and it is chances of swing is possible here with the help of the shackle. So the swinging shackle accommodates the change in the spring length. So rebound clips or straps are located at the intermediate positions in the length of the springs. So this is about the constructional features of the assembly of the leaf springs. So leaf springs may be in other various configurations like shown here. Here only the quarter half of this semi-elliptical leaf spring is used. So it is called as quarter elliptic leaf spring. And earlier days it was used with the vehicles, but now it is not being used. And it is one of the cheapest form. And the semi-elliptical leaf spring, which is most widely used as we have discussed. And this is the transverse elliptical leaf spring. And wherever we want to have different ride heights or we want to have more ground height or the clearance, then we can go for the transverse type of arrangement, but they are